The Third Human Civil War, or World War III, was fought by the major powers for control of Earth and her colonies. The United States of America, the head of the Allied powers during the war, fought desperately for its survival against the hegemony. By 2062, half of the US was occupied, 100 million Americans were dead, and the US government was at the brink of collapse. The century leading up to the war saw the dramatic rise and fall of American power. The once powerful United States of America began to witness the complete erosion of its economy, military, and long-held freedoms due to the effects of its reckless spending and massive national debt created early in the century.
Line literally stretched around a football stadium. Thousands of people waiting outside, all looking for a chance to find a job.
We're broke. We're broke. America's broke.
By order of the City of Pittsburgh Chief Police, I hereby declare this to be an unlawful assembly. By order.
Completely bankrupt, the economic collapse of the US led to martial law, social unrest, hyperinflation, and the decline of its military. As US power declined around the world, other nations rose to fill the vacuum. On August 8, 2055, China set off the spark, invading Taiwan and destroying the US Pacific Fleet in the process. After taking Taiwan and Guam, China moved against its main Asian adversaries, India and Japan. The US post-Taiwan refused to engage China directly, instead it fought proxy wars in the colonies and Israel. China used this lull in the fighting to consolidate its gains in Asia. After securing most of Asia, China then turned to the US, first taking Hawaii. With Hawaii, the Chinese gained a base in which they could invade the US mainland. In the US itself, China funded violent anti-war protests that severely hampered the domestic US war effort. June 30, 2016. China attacked vital US computer networks, then launched a massive nuclear strike on major US population centers. This was followed by a full-scale invasion of the US mainland. American forces resisted, delaying the invasion at great cost.
The Chinese are scrambling to divert forces to assist. The coalition can only hope none of them make it here in time. To my family back home, wherever you are, not a day goes by without you being in my thoughts.
China broke through the Rocky Mountains defensive line, but was stopped cold at the Mississippi defensive line. Both sides attempted to break across the river, yet none could. The war in America soon became one of attrition. The US, desperate for allies, asked the EU to intervene, but they refused. Only a few EU members sent volunteers to help the besieged Americans. In occupied America, the American resistance routinely attacked the Chinese occupation forces, inflicting massive casualties. By 2063, China began to round up and kill suspected rebels by the hundreds of thousands.
What is a drop of rain compared to the storm?
What is a thought compared
To a mind, our unity is full of wonder.
full of wonder, which your tiny individualism cannot even conceive?
By 2064, New York City was occupied, and the colony seceded from Earth, declaring itself neutral in the conflict. The US was on the verge of capitulation. Along the Mississippi, America prepared for one last counterattack against the hegemony.
We are many,
And you are one. How can you hope to
to prevail against us.